Living in Austin, Texas, what's it really like? Well, now you don't have to just take my word for it. Yeah, but just a little backstory on what this is I don't know if you know, but I have a YouTube channel where I show, different apartment tours. I show different properties. I give apartment tips and insights and stuff like that. But I think one of the major things that will add the most value is to hear from other people's opinions and other people's perspectives about living in Austin
Oh yeah.
versus the guy who's from Austin. And I feel like everyone would have a different perspective based on where they're coming from. And so that's what this is, so that other people can hear it. Maybe they're from the same place, or maybe they're from the same area, and they can just relate a little bit more and say, okay, now I'm getting things from the show that I wasn't getting from Marcus, because Marcus is not from Minnesota or isn't from Ohio or California or Florida or whatever, right? And so that's the whole reason, man. So thank you so much for agreeing and being on here. This is selfishly for me because I just obviously love talking to you. But secondly, it's also really helping people who are just kind of like, hey, they're on the fence, or maybe they just moved here and they don't really know. They're experiencing weird weather. Like this week, we had a hurricane for like 22 minutes. Uh,
Oh my gosh, yeah, we did.
and people may think, like, what decision did I make? Like, why did I come here? Like, this is crap. And so, um, anyway, I'll jump into it, but that's why we're doing the show. That's why I'm really appreciative of you, jumping on here, man. So first and foremost, I'm gonna be quiet and just want to say, hey, for those who don't know, what's your name? How long you've been in Austin? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, so my name's John Murky. I came from San Marcos, Texas, having graduated in 2020 from Texas State University. And basically, I've been in Austin for, I guess, going just over 3 years at the moment, though I did grow up just south, of course, in San Marcos. So Austin's always kind of been in my backyard.
Yeah.
Uh, then, yeah, I currently work in finance at a bank, specifically around like the agriculture industry and whatnot. And my particular area of town it tends to be the more, I guess, northwest area of town, up to the Domain. But I do like to venture downtown to the east side, and I do have quite a few friends that live in the south at the moment.
Nice. So, I mean, I think you kind of touched on it here, but just to be a little more direct. So, how do you like living in Austin so far compared to, say San Marcos? Because San Marcos is also booming and growing as well.
Oh yeah, so I do love living in Austin. There's just so much to do, so much to see. Compared to San Marcos, it is a little more hustle and bustle. To me, San Marcos is just a little more calm. It's the place where I go when I just want to get out of the city. Though it is, like you said, very much so booming and becoming a small city of its own. Uh, Definitely love Austin though. Compared to San Marcos, it's much better food scene, I guess you could say. A lot more diversity, a lot more just new restaurants to go and see, things like that.
Yeah, nice. And so what brought you to Austin initially again?
So it was for a job. I
Okay.
took a hybrid role up in Austin at my current bank, and from there ended up having to move. Didn't want to make that commute up and deal with the traffic coming all the way from San Marcos. So I figured, yeah, it's much better to have a short commute than a hour to hour and a half commute.
Amen to that, man. And sometimes it could be an hour, hour and a half just going from Domain to downtown. So,
You get stuck on Mopac or 35,
oh,
goodness gracious.
35. Ugh. But, so you've been here about 3 years now. So then what would you say is something that surprised you about living in Austin?
Well, I would say the traffic. I didn't expect it, though. Like I have visited before, but just the sheer amount of traffic, especially around my workplace, and then
Yeah.
I guess the construction and whatnot. But aside from that, just all the different things to do in the different parts of the city. Like for example, I love to go hiking. So there's
Yeah.
so many different trails. You wouldn't expect some of these little pocket trails just to be hidden away in some little obscure neighborhood in central Austin.
Yeah.
And you end up going and finding it, hiking through it, and it's just this magical wonderland. And then you head out west and you find all of these different trails that just open your mind up to all the different possibilities of things to do.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's one thing that I will say that I enjoy is like there's always a hidden trail. There's always a running trail, walking trail that, will might cut through a neighborhood, right? Or might go through a neighborhood, come out of a neighborhood, take you through some, corporate campus or right outside of the corporate campus and then back in the woods. And you'd be like, oh my goodness, okay, like I've seen this sidewalk or I've seen this hiking trail from like the road. I never knew what it went to or what it connected to. So there are a lot of those in Austin that like you said, it's small but impactful.
Oh, very much so. Like the other day, I was going on a trail in Lost Creek, actually, and ended up stumbling upon a new swimming hole. Didn't even know it existed. Couldn't find it on any of the maps. And what do you know? New swim hole for my girlfriend and I to go check out.
Nice, man. So, what are things you know now that you wished you knew before moving here?
Hmm. Basically, the distances I would say between things and how far of a commute. Uh, I guess it would be not more in terms of like time with traffic and time without traffic. Because when you look on some of the maps and stuff like that, it'll give you an ideal scenario, though they are obviously the maps like Waze, Apple Maps are all updating to give us a prediction on that.
Yeah,
But just like keeping a good representation of okay, well, it's a 10-minute commute from my apartment to work ideally, but when there's heavy traffic or a light goes out or something like that, then it's going to be a 30-minute commute in. So
yeah.
things like that. And then I guess just like general like the median rental price, I guess, for like a one bed, one bath was what I was looking for. So knowing like those types of pricing options and then what's available and what areas of the city. So like amenities. So like if I wanted to live around Zilker, what's available there, like grocery stores or like swimming pools like Barton Creek or just a local pool.
Okay. Cool, cool. Yeah, man. That's one thing that I try to preach a lot to people is like, hey, if you're looking to move to Austin, don't look at the average rent price for Austin. Look at the neighborhood averages because it drills down just a little bit more than what the average would be.
Oh,
Because the
very much
average
so.
is the average is, the popular places and the MSA, right? The metropolitan statistical area, like the Manor and the Pflugervilles. And so those are going to be much lower than, say, if you want to live in Domain or downtown or South Austin, even, right? So I'm glad you touched on that point, man, because I try to drive that home a lot. Like, hey, don't use average Austin rent as your
Oh yeah.
as your barometer. Like, look at the neighborhood average amount or that area. So I appreciate you touching on that. Um, so you mentioned that, hey, I wish I would have known like the amount of time that it would take, like distance wise from here to there, even though you can plan it from a map, it doesn't necessarily account for, like you said, if a light goes out or if there's something going on. How would have knowing that or anything else before you moved here, how do you think it would have impacted your decision to move, if at all?
So I don't think it would have impacted my decision to move at all. Obviously, I was moving for a job. I had to move.
Yeah,
It may have impacted where I was going to move, like the general, like I guess neighborhood, for example. So when I first moved here, my commute is still actually across the Pennybacker Bridge, which tends to be a choke point. So if I would have looked into it a little deeper, then I would have maybe chose south of the Pennybacker and taken a slightly longer commute than
yeah.
just north of the Pennybacker with a shorter commute. And that may have saved me a couple or a few headaches with that choke point coming across the bridge, those lights being out, or just the lights in general, to be perfectly honest.
2 lanes for full on traffic load.
Oh yeah, and then or merging on from 2222 to 360 to get straight onto that bridge. It's
Yeah,
and then
fun.
impacting directly into a stoplight, and it's not the most fun thing, but you know, you live and you learn.
Right. It's all moving fast. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, yeah.
So then, okay, so we know it wouldn't have changed your, your decision to come here because obviously it was for work. But I guess what about your move would you have done differently, hindsight being 2020?
Probably I would have, like I said before, just moved further south than going north. Obviously, we just touched on some of those choke points coming across that bridge in particular.
Yeah.
Maybe you've even just chosen a residence where there's multiple avenues to get to my destination instead of just one main thoroughfare. That would have probably made a huge world of a difference for me. And then I guess another thing would have been just I guess, amenities wise, so like restaurants, things to do, like the local watering hole, for example, like what bars are open to me at particular times.
Yeah.
Because when I first moved to Austin, I didn't quite do enough research on, oh, does this area have enough restaurants, enough places to go out and have a good time with my friends, or am I going to be having to drive 30 minutes south or 20 minutes
Hmm.
north to get to that particular place that I would like to go and frequent?
Good point, man. Good point. Okay. So density of things to do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. So for me, density, I guess, of things to do is huge. Like I do tend to find myself going on. I think it's South Lamar to a lot of those different places. That's a great
Yeah.
place for me to go and hang out with some buddies and go to dinner, grab a couple drinks here and there. As far as living there, maybe I wouldn't want to live particularly on South Lamar myself.
Yeah.
Maybe just off of that, but it would have if I would have done a little bit more research, I would have found out, I guess, exactly what I was in for.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And so just a few more questions. So like we're gonna go and just say someone from San Marcos is listening to this right now, right? Let's just say that. And they're kind of like, do I, don't I? Maybe they're not coming for a job. It's just like, hey, a life decision, right? It's something they want to do, something that they're debating. What's one good thing you'd share with people from your hometown who are thinking about moving here? And then what's one word of caution you'd share with them as well?
So one of the good things I guess I would share with them, it is a great place to meet people and I guess expand your horizons. There's so many, like we've touched on already, there's so many different things to do. You're going to constantly be meeting people, interacting. One word of caution though would be just rental prices and then traffic in general. Watch out for those. And that would be, I guess, my biggest caution.
Gotcha. Okay. And then any final words, man? Like, what final words would you share with our viewers or anyone who's just moved here? Like, it's like they've been here like 3 months and they're like, I don't know if I'm gonna stay here after this lease is up. Any final words for them or just any final words for anyone?
Oh yeah, so I guess my final words would be just get through the summer. I guess if your lease is up after the summer, get through it. It'll get better. It's kind of like I guess the equivalent of winter in the north. You get through it, and then next thing you know, you're in fall into spring, and it's just beautiful weather constantly. Those are always the high times for me. And then also, especially if you've only been here a short amount of time and you're looking for friends or just things to do, especially in the fall and the spring, that's when I've seen things open up for the most part. You're going to start having food festivals, music festivals, and everything coming around. So just hold out a little longer and you'll see the fruits.
Yeah, stick to the shades. Go to
Oh yeah,
places, go to places that have
stay
air
out.
condition with the
Yeah,
closed door.
stay in the AC between like 11 and 3 and you should be good. Aside from that, just like you said, look for shade.
Well, John, dude, that's all the questions I had, man. I want to thank you again so much for just making time to come on here, man. I think your insights will be helpful for those who may want a different opinion than my own. So I appreciate you making time, dude. And I think that's about a wrap on this one. For anyone else who may be listening, thank you for the attention. We'll have more of these, so you'll have different perspectives moving forward. And again, John, stay awesome, my man. Have a great weekend and stay cool out there, my
Oh,
friend.
yeah. You as well, Marcus. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.